For the sake of clarity, this is a second recording of this particular fight. The reason being, our Elgato messed up. The footage went on for 3 hours, saved, and then magically disappeared. So yeah, some commentary during and afterwards, especially in the next episode, will not line up accordingly. There will be some characters whose levels are different, equipment are different, and so on and so forth. But things should run smooth as normal. Anyway, on with the show for this episode.
Part 2. Crimson Flower. Great Tree Moon. Field of Revenge. With the capture of Aryan Road complete, the Imperial Army moves to invade the kingdom capital. They plot to send troops toward now vulnerable House Fraldarius territory and plan to attack Fhirdiad from 2 sides.
So, Aryan Road has fallen. Rodrigue, I swear that I will not allow your death to be in vain.
The scouts have just now returned. Seems the Imperial Army is marching toward the kingdom capital. Are you certain about this, Dimitri? As king, do you think it wise to intercept them yourself?
No need to worry yourself. Even if I am defeated, the Blathed bloodline will live on. And the kingdom's territory has never been rich in resources. If the castle falls under siege, our loss is inevitable. I will deploy my army onto the plains and wait for the enemy. Please position your forces so that they can flank the Imperial Army.
Yes. Given the present situation, making the plains our battlefield is a logical choice. I have no objection. However,
there is only one person I am after. I have no interest in any other prey.
I will take you at your word. Erasing the other child's existence is my task, and mine alone. I will get you back, Mother. I promise.
What do you think, Lady Edelgard? Will they shut themselves inside of Fhirdiad?
They will try to intercept us. Of course, Fhirdiad will not fall so easily. Even so, if we were to cut off their supply line with a large army, it would eventually fall. It makes much more sense for them to wager everything on a victory at the Tailtean Plains. The same plains where the so-called divine Seros defeated Nemesis, the King of Liberation, in a comeback victory over 1,000 years ago. And about 400 years ago, the hero Lugh created the kingdom by defeating the Emperor of the time on those very plains. Their goal must be to recreate that scene.
Yes, I suppose so. Although the Imperial Army is powerful, if we were to compare the strength of our best to the best of the Knights of Seros, we would likely come up short. The Kingdom's army and House Blathed are also renowned for their unmatched persistence. On the battlefield, it can be assumed that their one and only goal will be to strike you down.
Are you telling me to stay off the battlefield?
Naturally. You are their aim, Your Majesty. You must know it only makes sense to keep you out of their reach.
And you must know that, at a time like this, I absolutely cannot withdraw.
Of course I know that. That is why I will refrain from asking you again to stay away from the battlefield.
The Immaculate One, descendants of the 10 elites, and other extremely fearsome foes await us. But with the help of our friends, we have a chance of defeating them. We're the only ones who can. Within our group, I am included among those with the kind of strength we need to win. I absolutely will not remove myself from the front lines. Professor, you have that same strength as well, whether or not you realize it yet. Please, don't get yourself killed trying to protect me. Until the very end, We'll survive this trial together. Understood?
Well, this is gonna go well. Hey everyone, welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. In the last episode, we took on Aryan Road and claimed it as our own. That is until literally a minute after we got told, yeah, you know that whole fight you did with the prison, with the Silver Maiden, with the people you killed? Yeah, there was all for nothing because it's now gone. Strike number one of absolutely twisting the knife, as it were. But hey ho, here we are. And just out of clarity, as I said at the start of the episode, this is going to be a retread of last episode, but when it comes to the actual fight itself, we are going to keep our original reactions to specific things in that fight. So you'll get to see a bit of both. So for now, we'll get to the highlights and let's get to it because I am not waiting around anymore.
The smell, the texture, the smooth finish. This region's tea is the finest in the world.
Hello, Ferdinand. You seem to be in a good mood.
What is that supposed to mean? Perhaps you expected me to hold a grudge against you after our duel. In fact, I have moved on.
Have you now? Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I took it hard at the time, I will confess. I always thought that I equaled you in skill, or even surpassed you. But you showed me that I do not come close to matching your talents. Yet a true noble does not give up in the face of defeat. I will continue my training, and one day I will be an elite warrior. That is the path I must take, as a noble and a man of honor.
You really are in a good mood. Your determination is admirable.
Yes, one day I will surpass your abilities, and I will defeat you in combat.
Ferdinand, there's something I've been meaning to say to you for a while now. Honestly, I couldn't care less that you are of noble birth. Your fierce determination doesn't come from your bloodline. It's your own doing. The reason I value you and want to be friends with you is because of who you are, not who your family is.
I have something I would like to say to you, too. Certainly we must recognize the common folk who strive for greatness and attain it. But for those of us born into nobility, things are more complicated. From birth, nobles must excel. If we do not, we will be forced out of our houses. This environment breeds superior individuals, and they in turn recreate the rigorous environment for their own children. Without that cycle, there would be no political elite guiding the world towards prosperity.
So you're saying that the kind of world I'm striving to create is wrong?
I would not go so far as to say your way is wrong, just that another way might be better. If you insist upon undoing the nobility, then we must build something in its place. We can provide free education for all, and then select the highest performing students for more intensive training and tutoring. I truly believe that people are products of their environment.
Finding a way to educate the people. Interesting. I'm impressed by how much thought you've given this. No matter what shape the world takes, I'm sure I'll always need people like you by my side. People with strong principles who will argue with me and force me to consider ideas that are contrary to my own.
Yes, exactly! Finally, Edelgard, you appreciate how important I am to your cause.
I've always thought of you as a valued friend, Ferdinand. That's nothing new.
Edelgard, I have to tell you something. I think now is the right time. Do you know what my ancestor Derek von Eyre said after your ancestor defeated him? He said, "You are an imperial beauty. Please, accept me as your husband."
Halt, Ferdinand. There's a time and a place for everything. But that time is not now.
Okay, can I just go on a few things here? We are recording this after we have done the entire route. That comment right there from Edelgard, it's like, oh yes, I need people to tell me I'm wrong and to tell me there could be other ways. Meanwhile, we are knee deep in changing the entire world. Does this not scream a little bit hypocritical? And a bit too late for her to say, yeah, we could do something a little bit different.
How are you today, Lysithea?
Fine, thank you. And yourself?
Quite well, thank you.
I overheard something recently. Something pertaining to you and your vision for the future. Is it really true that you intend to create a world in which crests no longer exist?
It's true. My aim is to dismantle the current system of aristocracy. The only reason nobles enjoy the status they do is because their bloodlines carry crests. If crests lose their value, so will titles of nobility.
I really agree with your thinking. My parents have suffered throughout their lives due to their nobility. Due to my own crests, I've never been able to live a normal life. I'm sick of nobility and crests, of all of it. It sounds as if it's truly your mission to change things. I'll pledge my life to your cause, however short it may be.
Lysithea.
Has your hair always been that color, by the way?
Huh?
I ask because mine wasn't always this color. I lost all pigment after receiving my 2 crests. Edelgard, I want a world where people like you and I are no longer victimized. I want you to bring that world into being. If it's within me to help that come to pass, then I'll do whatever it takes.
Understood. I promise to do all I can to see this goal to fruition. And I want you to promise something in return. That you will never stop fighting for your life. Whatever terrible fate awaits us, we can fight it and prevail. I need you to trust me on that. Do you promise?
I promise. I will try my best to believe that.
Good girl. Now then, would you care for a sweet cake?
Please do not call me that. But, yes. Yes, I would.
Didn't hear her give an answer. Nope.
You trust too much, allowing someone who has turned their blade on you to come near.
Because there are 2 sides to you, you fear that I endanger myself?
I am nothing more than a merciless killer. A demon whose only pleasure is found within death's shadow. Such a creature should not be allowed near you, dear sister.
Just what are you implying, Emil?
I have come to bid you farewell. Today, I will leave the monastery for good. If I stay, it is only a matter of time before I hurt you. Just like I did those in House Bartels.
You can't leave. But if it must be so, then answer me this before you depart. Why did you kill your father?
On the day I took his life, Father had just discovered that you and Mother were hiding at a church in the kingdom. He was considering bringing both of you back home. But by then, Mother was past the age to bear children. And so, he proclaimed that he would take the only other female of the Lamine bloodline. That he would take you as his wife. What happened after that? I remember nothing of it. How I killed him, or what his final words were.
You did it for me. To protect me.
Regardless of reasons, a demon is a demon. I have said enough.
Hold on! That isn't fair!
Not fair?
No! You can't just tell me all of that and then vanish forever. Please stay. At least until this horrible war meets its end. I want you around just a while longer.
But All that I do results in harm to others. You saw it yourself. The demon that lives within bears his fangs indiscriminately. You know all of this, and still you wish for me to remain?
Even if I am hurt, or worse yet, killed, if it is by your hand, then I will find peace. I am, and will always be, your big sister, Emile.
Mercedes,
I love you, Emile. That never changes. Understand?
I understand. Then, I will remain here a while longer. Until we see this war through, I will remain by your side.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mercy, I feel like collectively has probably got some of the best supports.
Mm-hmm.
Yuritsa?
What?
I've got it all figured out.
Hmm?
Your true identity. If my detective skills are correct, then you are the Death Knight, right?
Everyone already knows that.
What? Everyone knows? But how? Oh, and here I thought that I'd uncovered your big spooky secret. Oh, Bernie, you're such a shut-in that you missed the biggest news in town. So, here's the deal, Yuritsa. You've got to tell me a secret about you that nobody else knows.
Why?
Because I sleuthed for hours upon hours. It's got to be rewarded.
Just stop.
Oh, come on. Please? Oh, I know. I've got it. Why do you wear that crazy-looking armor when you're pretending to be the Death Knight? Are you just into the look of it? You like spooky stuff?
Well, I may have been drawn to that aspect. To look sinister. To embody death.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe you put on that mask and armor because, just like old Bernie, you don't like talking to people.
There may be some truth to that. Talking to people is intolerable.
Oh, yeah? I think I'm sensing a real kinship between us. So, with that whole spooky getup on, it allowed you to speak to people with confidence.
No.
Oh, hey, Yuritsa. Don't tell anyone about this, okay? This is our little secret.
I don't mind, but I also don't understand.
Nor do I care, is what I was expecting him to say. But I'm just going to, again, emphasize the point on where we're at right now. We are at the penultimate turn of the narrative. You've had little to no insight on Edelgard's personal life.
How about?
Haven't really seen a change in her demeanor in any way, shape, or form. And we know little to nothing about her, and yeah, I feel definitely detached.
Yeah, those experiments she went through, I remember her talking about them. I don't know if it was in the main game or supports, but it was so brief I barely remember the details about it.
And look, I'm once again going to compare it to Dimitri.
I believe I have explained before.
Now yes, Dimitri, just like Edelgard, did go through some shite when he was a child. Like, that's objectively clear. But here's the thing though, we saw where Dimitri started, we got a little bit of background in terms of what he went through as a child, so we have our beginning and our backstory. as the plot goes on, we see him become more and more unhinged over time. And then when shite hits the fan, he pretty much goes insane. He becomes detached, he becomes angry, he becomes distant to us as well as the rest of the team. Almost to the point at which he gets himself killed. And at that point, he loses another one of his allies, aka Rodrigue.
And we had to step in and be his therapist.
Yes, we did. We saw him at his worst, and we got to see him be vulnerable. And then you know what? We got to see a redemption story in which Dimitri saw where he went wrong. And you know what? He came back and was an awesome king and led the team to victory. Edelgard has not changed at all. She has just been completely flatlined in terms of character development. It's always been the case of, yep, sure, strictly military, here's our plan, here's what we're going to do, and here's what we're going to face. Like, nothing about you, nothing about me, nothing about what she has been through or what we've been through, just completely flatlined. And then, in some of the adjacent supports in which we've had, aka Yuritsa, we get told, yes, the Empress told me not to kill you. Yet. It's like, huh? So, I'm sorry, there's just so many contradictions and it's just frustrating.
I get the feeling that Silver Snow was made first and then they realized, oh, this is the house leader. We need to have a point where we're on her side.
And, okay, now I agree. Like, I can definitely see that happening. But at the same time, though, the main conflict is about Edelgard going nuts. In terms of like, I want to tear down the church and everything that's got to do with it. I'm willing to start a war to make that happen. Here's the thing though, and spoiler alert for the Blue Lion route, we actually do change the church. We get Rhea out of the picture and we become the Archbishop, so we make the change ourselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, we honestly get no other development, and it's just, man, compared to Dimitri, Edelgard is just so flat.
Yeah.
And like I said before, in last episode, like, a lot of the themes and a lot of the pieces around this game are focused on Edelgard's turmoil and her character, and yet it is the weakest storyline of all of them.
It annoys me that any sort of lore is buried in the supports.
Yeah, honestly, lore is meant to enhance the story, not be the crux in which it sits upon.
I'm a quick study.
Growth sustains me.
I always was a quick study.
Of all the people to learn Lance, these people are not what I expected. But oh well, weirder things have happened.
Sorry. It looks like I'm going to have to leave you now. One day, I hope you'll give this ring to someone you love as well as I love her.
We've talked about this a long time. We've got a myriad of options. Who do we go for?
Marianne.
She deserves all of the love in the world. Just like you. And thus, we go again to battle, to war, combat at Telltale Plains. The Black Eagle Strike Force, in its continued pursuit of Fodlan's unification, marches on Fhirdiad, Kingdom and Church forces prepared to meet you at Telltale Plains, a place laden with history. Well, we've done this before, but we'll do it again. Let's go.
With Aryan Road behind them, the Black Eagle Strike Force marches north to Fhirdiad. They plan for the Imperial Army stationed in former Alliance territory to take over Fraldarius land, so they are able to attack Fhirdiad from 2 directions. King Dimitri anticipates the Imperial Army's strategy, leading the Kingdom Army and Rhea's Knights of Seros out of Fhirdiad, and prepares to intercept the Imperial Army at the Tailtean Plains.
Mother. Oddly, the rain has come to fall yet again. At this place. Once again, I will fight to take you back. The one who keeps me from seeing you again. I will be sure to return them to the earth from whence they came. The foolish descendant of Hresvelg, who bears her fangs at me, will suffer the same fate.
Lady Rhea.
Call me Seros now. I am no longer the Archbishop, but rather a warrior.
Yes, Lady Seros. Because of the rain, we have not yet confirmed the position of our enemy, or of the Kingdom Army.
Search the route to Fhirdiad. It is unlikely that they have strayed far from it. When you discover the Imperial Army's main force, commence the attack. If the Kingdom's army has already engaged, flank the enemy as planned.
As you wish.
Wait for me, dear child. I will be paying you a visit soon. When this sword has been plunged into your chest, yes, that is the very moment I long for.
I was hoping they would strike the church first. We must have miscalculated the rate of their advance. Reorganize the formation. We have no choice but to buy time until the church arrives. It will be a long battle. Are you afraid to do?
No. So long as I am at your side, there is nothing to fear.
I can always rely on you. Just watch, my friend. We will prevail. I will not fail to get revenge for all who have fallen.
I would follow you anywhere, Your Majesty. Good luck out there.
You as well, Dedu. You as well.
Your Majesty. For you, I will.
A flag of blue is flapping in the rain. It must be the Kingdom Army.
Yes. It seems that King Dimitri is leading the troops himself. However, the Knights of Seros have yet to be seen. Perhaps they have split up.
I can't imagine that Dimitri would leave the capital to the church and face us with the Kingdom Army alone. He must be planning to use the church to gain the upper hand in battle. With the rain, that must be difficult to coordinate. Still, the Knights of Seros must be around here somewhere.
And we should be on alert for attacks from the side and rear as well. Inform the entire army.
Yes, sir.
Now that I think about it, the Kingdom's army is quite different than it once was. They have taken a position of interception. In the past, the king would have introduced himself before beginning a fair fight.
A fair fight. The words alone remind me of how he once was. Don't you agree, Professor?
Oh, come on. That's a little bit disingenuous.
Oh, have you forgotten already? Dimitri often spoke of such things back at the monastery.
Well, at the present, the words fair fight do not seem to suit Dimitri anymore. He dislikes making victims of his friends. But other than that, he will do most anything these days. If he stops at nothing to continue the onslaught, I cannot imagine what will become of the battlefield.
True. As soon as we can take our battle formation, we must advance. Dimitri, that past you cling to, I will soon free you from it.
He seemed to have good sportsmanship to me.
Yeah, he seems pretty okay. Like, in the cutscenes we've seen, it's like, yes, to do, be safe. I support you, my friend. Meanwhile, later on, Hubert's like, oh, that bastard, he's a dirty fighter, and he's changed. My god, what a bastard. It's like, no, he seemed pretty cool and sane and pleasant guy right there.
Yeah.
Alright, well, either way, from this point on, we no longer have the failsafe of the monastery. So this is as far as you can go regarding affinity and whatnot. So I keep your equipment in check. But now, as we look across the map, I'm going to be frank with you guys right here. These chests are not worth it. You are best to just keep going for the main objectives and just continue on. Unless you are on dire straits regarding resources, equipment, or just wanting a leg up, then other than that, definitely not worth it. So we're separated by two groups. If you are worried about having your onslaught, I'd recommend having your squishy units or most valued units being at this area down here. And also, have someone who's able to fly and take care of all the riffraff up there. That's exactly what I plan on doing with Bernie as well as Ingrid, because they are going to be invaluable with taking out these guys, because they are going to pot shot you every single chance they get. Also, have some bowmen in hand, because this area is going to become quite a nuisance. More fun will enter this fray here, so be on guard. And of course, we have some familiar faces. To do heavy defense and heavy magic, so be on guard on that one. And of course, we have the main man himself, Dimitri, equipped with his own hero's relic, so best play the long game with him. And of course, last but not least, we've got a horsey horse here. Just one person there on his own? Surely nothing can come from the shadows. But no, seriously. Have a jack of all trades, but probably have a good defense and offense, definitely, that can take care of these things first and foremost. Because trust me, there's a lot more to come here. So, with that said, let's have a look at my units that I've got here. I think for me, I'm pretty satisfied with everyone who I have on hand. Hubert, unfortunately, is going to be too slow and is not going to be much of a defense enough to be an advantage. Yuritsa or Fhirdiad, I'd say, is a better choice. Probably Yuritsa, because Fhirdiad, even though he does have his gimmick on when he's fully healed, he could be a non-stop powerhouse. But there are going to be units that are magic-based and speed-based, and they could easily whittle him down if you guys have not prepared him as such. So, a reliable hand, but a shaky one at best. So for me, I'm just going to use this opportunity to replenish my barracks, because why the hell wouldn't I? And I think, let's have a look. Who do I want to have here? I really find it to be an utter pain in the ass you can't move Bylor for Edelgard, but any other unit is fair game. But yep, I think I'm gonna have Caspar take place of Mercy. And yeah, I think with that said, I've got bows at the ready. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to have a healer who can have speed on this side. Yeah, and pretty much jack of all trades on this one. Well, with that said, let's get on. And just for clarification right now, if it sounds like I'm pretty informed, fun fact, we have already recorded this fight, as noted at the start of the episode. So I know what's going to come, but when it comes to certain parts of this fight, we will be keeping in our initial reactions to what happens. Because, oh boy, we have a lot to talk about. From this point on, our views of this route kind of suffer. And you know what? I think I'm going to swap out Eloise and give Marianne probably Raphael, because he is the only shield in this entire group. I find it to be absolutely ridiculous. But that said, let's do it. No backing out now.
Ah, here you are, Edelgard, at your eternal resting place. You have trampled and stolen and blinded yourself to the truth. Today, I will have vengeance for all you have done.
With this battle, the main force of the kingdom will be annihilated. Leave no enemy general alive, least of all King Dimitri.
Okay.
We are uncertain of the enemy's plans, so let us advance our troops with caution. The Knights of Seros have yet to show themselves. They will join the battle at some point. Be ready.
And oh boy, they will. Because one thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to have Ingrid just... She's one step out. Which sucks. I think for me, I'm going to have Caspar go in, unarmed, but dangerous. He can draw fire. Meanwhile, Ingrid, you can make yourself known. She's going to take in a lot of lickings, but I believe in our fair maiden and she can kick ass. So you know what? Let's equip a Crescent Scythe to her and let her have fun.
I do this for all of us.
Bernie, as much as I don't want to do this, you as well are going to be taking in some hits. But you know what? I think it's all good. Because we are definitely going to reduce the numbers. For me, I feel like I've taken out a big target here because Magician on that panel, that's a big worry off my chest. I'm going to have Petra just be side by side by Caspar just so she can give a little bit of the support. Marianne, I feel like, you know what? I'm also going to help out Ingrid a tiny bit more. That whelp shall be silenced. I feel like at this point, it's definitely worth your time. It's definitely worth your time, let's do this. I'm also going to get Byleth and Edelgard away.
What's my strategy?
But however, I'm not going to make them go so far. Because we are going to have some people... So we're going to have company. So just have your flank at the ready. So you know what? Yeah, I'm going to have Leone watch our backs.
Understood.
And the Death Knights can, of course, watch Mercy's back. Because what else could he do?
We're first in line! Charge!
Glory to the flag of the Knights! Good fortune to His Majesty!
Fortune to Vargas!
What?
What the? That kingdom soldier just changed into a demonic beast. Did Tullus? No. This is something simpler.
This is the work of a crest stone. But why?
I gave them crest stones from the castle vaults.
What? What in the hell?
Do that.
If we lose here, the kingdom falls. It's our only hope.
You call this hope? Well, we must now claim victory so their deaths were not in vain.
Yes, Your Majesty. I am with you.
No, I'm sorry.
Gautier reinforcements have arrived. We shall crush the Empire weaklings.
Reinforcements.
Why?
We're in danger. We must.
Why
defeat
is
the
that a
enemy's
thing?
general before we're overwhelmed.
Like, Gabe, I'm sorry, but I find that hard to believe that
shall not
would
stray.
be something that the do or this game would do. What?
I aim for greatness.
Well, frick me sideways.
The results speak for them.
Well. This is a conundrum and a half. I can't wrap my head around why that would be something the game would do.
From a gameplay or narrative standpoint?
A narrative standpoint, because to do because
I'll end this quickly.
I'm just gonna leave it be. Wow, what? I did not expect that turn of events.
No. Even Dimitri was stunned by that.
Yeah, I would too. Be like, dude, what the hell? So yeah, already we have problems. Beasts abound, and we have all this to deal with. But the Death Knight roams all and continues to take things out. It is definitely going to be worth your time to get rid of the grunts now, because Edelgard was not kidding. You can quickly be overwhelmed in this fight if you are not careful. That's what I'm going to do. Gambit ahoy hoy. And take care of that right there. Caspar, what do you have? You can do a Gambit and a half. Better go back a little bit. You know what? Let's break this guy's shield. One brick at a time. Umbral Steel. Yay. Then Leone and Edelgard, they can stay back here. Trust me, the sooner you're able to move things around, the better off you'll be. So you know what?
What's my strategy?
I'm actually gonna keep them back here.
Witness frigid pride.
Alright, that is the grunts all done.
I will not be dying.
Okay, that is not good. I need that fixed. Oh boy, no. Of all the people to lose in that fight, it cannot be Petra.
I will prevail.
Absolutely not.
Here goes.
Petra is much too valuable of a unit, an asset, whatever synonym you want to use, but no, I cannot lose her. My God, that guy hit like a truck. Man. Okay. You know what? Better take out that guy.
What's my strategy?
No.
Put me in there.
No, screw it. I'm just gonna forego all of the equipment here and all the stuff because there's literally no point. And this is honestly a gripe that I have with the game in general. The fact that these demonic beast drops, in my opinion, they are just not worth it. It takes up a lot of resources and possibly puts your units at risk.
What's my strategy?
And all it is just getting one freaking Umbral Steel. Not worth it.
We can't be careless.
Well, that's all good for you, buddy, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna use Fortify and just be done with you. Alright.
I will prevail.
Now, Petra, if you could just take out this one guy. Armor Slayer.
You are in my way.
Down he goes. There goes one of my worst problems.
I'll do my best.
Ready when you
Ingrid
are.
can happily chase down that last magic user and get it across the board.
My duty is your death.
I will say, for the sake of simplicity and ease of play, these guys will remain here unless you engage first. So you can easily take on the church units for taking on the kingdom. And in some way, shape or form, that is actually what Dimitri wanted, so I guess y'all could be said playing into his hands, but hey, if it's easy for us, then I'm not going to complain. Now, I just hope Petra can live and survive, because if she can't, that's a problem. But you know what I could do? Just take Caspar and just beat the living hell out of that guy.
I
Right.
do this for all of us.
I'm gonna get... Mercy is in the firing line. Not a fan. Bernie can't save the day unless... Okay, no, the killer edge did not come in handy. Doesn't matter what I do, you're still going to attack. But you know what? No, I'm gonna stay here. And I'm gonna protect Mercy. Okay, 22 damage. That's not bad. Not bad at all. The horses continue to come our way, which is not great. There will come a point in which they do start to aggro, but until then, you can remain here without issue. That's all well and good. Now that's done. I heavily recommend getting ready for things to kick off.
We'll support you.
So if I were you, I would not have any of your units stray off on their own unless you feel entirely confident that they can take on a plethora of problems. Because we got some trouble coming our way. So just deal with that. Meanwhile, Caspar is taking on a beast with his bare hands and winning. Let's all get back because we are going to have a storm coming our way. Right, so as long as I've got assistance here and everything all well and good, Marianne, you can just heal Bernie.
At your service.
Mercy, definitely heal Petra because she has dodged death already. Leone, I'm gonna have her go back with Edelgard and myself. Because I forget what kicks it off, but there is trouble occurring. I'm not insane. There we go.
How could I be late when I finally have the opportunity to destroy the Fallen One? This rain. It is the lamentation of my mother. Observe. I shall not fail in restoring balance.
Well, looks like we've got ourselves a problem. First off, be ready to take these guys out because this guy on his own, not really a problem. But when it's in a pincer maneuver like what we're at right now, it can be pretty stressful. So I think for me, I'm also going to have Fatal Guard. Pretty much just set this guy on fire. as he's completely stunned for a turn. And Leone can just take pot shots at this guy.
I'm not dying here.
And that's one side all finished up. Leone, you are going to be in massive wonder whenever we get to the Golden Deer. So for me, I think I'm gonna... Yep, sure, why not? Take attention away from that side. Let's see. First of all, can I send anyone to attack? You know what? Too risky. Good old Bernie. Oh yeah, Bernie strikes again.
Bernie's unstoppable.
Indeed she is. And Mercy can just go along and just kill this fool. And she can kill it with, well, fire.
A tragic end.
Mercy's that badass, she set fire to the rain.
I'll try harder too.
Alright. Now, I'll just say this. If you would be so inclined to get this guy's equipment or item, I'd say go for it first. Your best bet is to either have someone extremely long range, take pot shots over here, or just get someone like Ingrid or a Wyvern to just hop over there. But, trust me, at this stage of the game, not worth your time. This is where you are going to need some of your biggest hitters. So Caspar and Pet should probably take point, with Ingrid being a decent shield. It won't be easy, but she will advance. She is a little bit slow, but it can still be fine. So I'm just gonna take my time and just whittle this guy down.
There is still room for it.
Still room indeed. Meanwhile, my heavy hitters bring an end to this fool. This robo-fool.
I must outwit even.
And also, yes, Manuela gets a level up. She needs her hair protected, but she's fine. Nope, that's not what I want. Do not dismount. That's right. The horse is going to attack first with white magic, so best have someone have decent evasion. So Caspar, I'm gonna have you just get to the back line a little bit here. I'd like to think Mercy can do this, and Leone can dodge. Definitely some decent company. And you'd be surprised, silence does not work on the Grimoire over there. But hopefully this guy, yeah. Yuritsa's safe for another day. Still having my people be safe over here. Then let's get into a decent clump and let's have at it. Spoiler alert, those horses are not going to stop coming. So just be on guard. Alrighty, we've only got one turn before Rhea comes and kicks our stuff in. Now, if you want to, there is unique dialogue for Byleth versus Rhea. So for the sake of showing that, I will step away and try and let Rhea catch up. I'm not really worried because I think I can take her. She does pack a heavy hitter for heavy hit, Her shield definitely covers some of her defense too. But if I had to say a weakness of Rhea is that she is slow moving. So do with that as you will.
Who's next?
And there we go. Apart from the magic user, there goes Rhea's backup. But more horses have occurred. I am going to get Mercy back. I do want to show off that dialogue. But if I could just have Leone just take a hop, skip, and a jump away. Skirt. I'm here. Why not? Gremory dead. Giant shell. Defense. At this stage in the game, unless you are highly in need of defense, then all power to you. But I'll just say this now. The next fight after this, I would say magic defense or just normal defense is probably not what you are going to want to focus on.
Too slow. Prepare yourself.
I shall not stray.
Now with that, Rhea is all on their own. No Seraph, no Flame, no nothing. Have myself, Petra. Okay, fine. Target Caspar. Why don't you, jerk? What's he done? What's he done to anyone? I could have Bernie just take a pot shot, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Let's have just my entire team clump. What happens, happens.
I once walked this world as Seraphs, the warrior, and defeated the fell king Nemesis. Now, here I stand, facing one who wields the same sword as he. The fate you have chosen is also the same as his. To die in torment upon my sword, as the very lifeblood you have forsaken spills onto the earth. How can this be?
Does someone want to tell Rhea I'm actually wielding an axe right now and not the sword? Just saying, she might want to get her eyes checked.
To that thief? Unacceptable!
Watch out, Lady Rhea! Please retreat!
The Church of Seros has fallen back, but we have no such luxury. Everyone, fight for your lives! Victory to Fargus!
That's it. The only issues you'll get now is the constant flyers that are pretty much non-stop from Gotia territory. But now, there's only one way to cross. Through here. Unless you have a flyer, then, you know, good freaking luck. In all honesty, the way this map is set up is a little bit weird. Because you are essentially having to clump together in order to take on attacks from all sides. And yet here, it's a long, drawn-out process in order to actually make some progress. Meanwhile, there's horses who are coming in non-stop that just whittle down your energy, resources, or your durability for your weapons. For me, it's a stall tactic, and I know that's a thing in real life regarding war, but a little bit of a nuisance. Especially seeing how this is the penultimate fight in which you can't go back and reschedule and redo things. But yeah, if you feel like you're ready, I'm gonna have Ingrid be there and just take enemies at the pass. Let's make our way over. And catch up on an old friend, Devars. In a different world. In a different life. I wonder what things would have been like, Dimitri, if we were on your side at the very beginning. If only there was a playlist that could be linked right now to such a timeline.
It is time. Your Majesty, I will avenge your father.
Oh no.
You are the one true king, Dimitri.
To do. I will fight by your side until the bitter end. As long as I am with you.
Again.
This lance of mine will know nothing of
Not a fan of this.
I can do no less. My duty is your death.
Just really? You're gonna have the character just do this?
You wouldn't think this would be a case of desperate times call for desperate measures?
Possibly, yes, but with supports that we have seen throughout our playthrough, Dimitri is hard against something like this. Like, I don't want you to die. I don't know, it just seems a bit...
You took me lightly.
just a tad disingenuous for me in my eyes. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just seems very out of nowhere. And I don't know if I'm a big fan of it in all earnest.
It almost feels like different writers made this route.
Yeah, it just seems like almost attached.
Next try.
I mean, I can imagine a game of this size, you probably did have multiple writers. But surely there would be some kind of communication with this. The do. My god. It's definitely gone off the deep end. And here's the thing that sucks. The only thing that I can really say is treat the do like you would any other demonic beast you've faced previously. Because yes, he hits like a truck. Apart from that, I really can't say anything much. And we talk a little bit about this later on. But yep, we know these beasts are capable of. Attack as much as you can. Don't hold back. Just have fun.
Who's next? Get in line.
I admire you.
It does take a while to bring down, but it can happen.
I'm here to help.
I think now is good.
It is definitely a benefit to have Raphael get A in punching, alright. But no, it is definitely worth your time in order to have Gambits that attack multiple places at once, like it always is. I'm going to use combat art and get a curve shot in, because I want to see if I can try and get this last bit done. And he gets Umbral Steel. The do just gives generic drops. That's not really much I can really say, except I wish there was more. Wish there was more to say. More to do. Fortunately, today is not that day. Today is ours. Fortunately, you're just on the wrong side of history. Yeah, sure, he does regain health. And there's just that one random schmuck who's decided to take the scenic route. He's literally of no consequence to us. Yeah. Just have at it. Oh yes, and Manuel is here too. I feel like it's only right that we, as former housemates, there we go. Ingrid took a shot. I've took a shot. We do one for the road, for his sake. I'm really hoping I do not get a critical hit, otherwise it's going to suck. Thanks, Fhirdiad. For once, I'm actively trying not to kill the do in this scenario.
I'm not going down.
Oh no. Well, we helped.
To do. You fool.
In our original recording, fittingly enough for our Blue Lion LP, it was Mercy who laid him to rest. Oh well. Now, with that said, there's nothing else for it. Take on this whelp who's just there. Who just stood there and took 4 arrows. With the final blocks out the way, you'll make our way up.
It won't be in vain.
We can outrun the Pegasus. Then keep spawning as much as they want. Won't do any good. Once you ascend the stairs, that's when you aggro Dimitri. Until then. Just so sad, dude. I'm not really a fan of just seeing what Dimitri has seen this fight play out as is, and then for it to all come down at this. Just all slowly surrounding him. If you are worried about Dimitri, just like any lance user, he does hit quick and he does hit hard. Plus he's on an evasion pad, so he will not go down so easily. But it will not be a problem in the grand scheme of things. We've had our fight. I think it's time they finished theirs.
Must you continue to conquer? Continue to kill?
Must you continue to reconquer? Continue to kill in retaliation? I will not stop. There is nothing I would not sacrifice to cut a path to Fodlan's new dawn.
Enough of this madness! This future of yours is built on a foundation of corpses and tears!
Dude. Nothing about that interaction painted Dimitri as a villain.
No.
In fact, I think it did the exact opposite. You know what? That's very fitting. I feel like it's best if we do this.
Why did you choose Edelgard, Professor? Why did you choose to walk this savage, bloody path? I cannot shake this feeling of regret. Regret that I must kill you now.
Allow me to demonstrate!
Trust me, Dimitri. No one regrets us more than me.
No, not yet. I can't die just yet.
If you want me to be real, this fight should have ended here. And quite frankly, it is.
Edelgard, I will kill you. You will know the regret of my father, who was killed for you. Of my stepmother, who was slain by your own daughter. You will bow your head before all of the lives you trampled for your ideals. Before you die in misery.
Your obsession with me is appalling. If you were a normal human, you would most certainly have died already. Farewell, King of Delusion. If only we were born in a time of peace, you might have lived a joyful life as a benevolent ruler.
To the fires of eternity with you, El.
And no cutscene as well.
Yeah.
Lady Rhea, King Dimitri has fallen in battle. The kingdom's army has retreated. It is impossible to preserve the front line.
Everyone withdraw immediately. Fall back to Fhirdiad. The goddess is watching over us. If we hold strong, we will surely be saved.
Understood.
Retreat!
Why do you insist on being such a loathsome obstacle? You stole my mother's heart and wield the sword of the Creator, just like that savage King Nemesis. I swear, with these very hands, I will take her back. Until then, wait for me, dear mother.
Rhea. She is our enemy, but I must admit that she plays her cards magnificently.
You mean using the goddess's name in order to boost morale?
That's true, but she also shows great skill in devising her tactics. Using the bewildered Kingdom army as a shield, while she and the knights retreated. If they ran all the way back to Fhirdiad, it will be very difficult to pursue them. Yes, together we'll end this once and for all. For all the lives lost in battle, by our allies and foes alike. And for Dimitri as well. Yes, the thirst for revenge that imprisoned him was the result of my uncle's strategy. He believed that I was the cause of everything, and he lost sight of his path as king. There was nothing I could do to save him, and so, the very least I could do was... No. The Edelgard who shed tears died many years ago. Everything that's happened, it's all just part of the ebb and flow of history. The tragedy of Duscar, our days at the Academy, Father's death, and the 5 years you were gone. After all of that, at long last, we're here, at this point in time. I hope you'll stay by my side until the very end. It's time for humanity to take this world back.
The LP's got to end at some point.
Mm.
You know what? No. You know what? No. And I'm not going to send this episode for very long because, my God, this is just absolute piss take the length it is. But what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Everything about that fight sucked. The sudden turn of like, oh, we'll use monsters even though that goes against Dimitri and Dedeux's character. The fact that there's no CGI cutscene for this monumental moment.
And Edelgard pissing on Dimitri.
Yes, come on, man. The best thing about this game is that you get to see other people's perspectives. Because you, as the player, you gain an understanding and appreciation for the characters for the arc in which they go through by simply staying at their side. I don't mind the line of, if only Dimitri was in another time, aka another playthrough, things might have been different. I get that, fully get that. That's the gimmick of the game. But the point of seeing other people's perspectives is that you get to understand where Edelgard is coming from. I just want to change the church. Okay. Little bit more context, please.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and I'm going to say it now. Least favorite route.
Yep.
Least favorite route.
This just felt like chaotic evil all around. I didn't like it.
Yeah, overall, and we haven't even played the Golden Deer yet, or the Ashen Wolves yet. But I'm saying it now, the Golden Deer, no matter what happens in that route, it won't be as bad as this.
Silver Snow was better.
Yeah, Silver Snow was better.
Even though it was kind of a rehash of the Blue Lions route.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, one of these routes did need to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just have the Blue Lion, have the Golden Deer, and have the Black Eagles. Like, this just seems stupid. Stupid.
Painful.
And not in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
A good story is meant to make you feel things, highs and lows. Because here's the thing that they try to do with, killing Dedeux. The difficult part is actually killing him, but because he's dressed up as a demon, you take that away. So, you're not being given anything. They're not going so far off in one direction which Dedeux goes absolutely crazy, or this was Dimitri's plan all along. Because then you get to see, okay, Dimitri's actually an asshole. So you can go through the extreme and actually side with Edelgard, but here's the thing. It doesn't line up with the narrative. It doesn't line up with the supports. It doesn't line up with the characters. It doesn't line up with the narrative effect of, oh, I get to kill this person who I once had the friendship with or who I actually went down the route with. No, because he's just generic demon now.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of contradictions and it leads to nothing. It takes away. God. Stupid. And what's going to end? The next fight is just going to be Fhirdiad just going against Rhea.
In probably her dragon form.
Yeah. And also, here's the thing as well. With this route now, Edelgard at this point now has become second fiddle. She's now officially in the background because what has Rhea been saying from this very point on?
Byleth is it?
Yeah, she's focusing on us, not Edelgard. So what is the sodding point? Like Raya just said, hey, star of this particular route, the icon, the character which is all based on, you don't matter. This is what this route has now said. Edelgard, the main character of this route, you don't matter now.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I mean, didn't she want to overthrow the church?
Yes, okay, yes, that's what Edelgard wants, but the main antagonist now, the person who our main focus is now, as a main character, protagonist versus antagonist, is telling us, the player, oh yeah, Edelgard, she doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that could have done with? The Silver Snow route! Because Edelgard got what she wanted in Silver Snow, then it all became about Raya and having to do what we needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just... Oh... God, this is awful. I know what they're trying to do. They might be trying to paint Edelgard as in, like, she's very stoic, no matter what happens, she's strong, and she just carries on no matter what. There comes a point in which it stops being admirable, in which it becomes stubborn and annoying and counterproductive, and you're just saying, okay, you really want it, I just need to feel things.
It becomes a moral issue.
Yeah, it does. Oh, look me sideways, man. Because there's not been a bit of dialogue in which we've seen in the main story where the normal player is going to see the narrative. Because there are some players out there who may not even know the support conversations exist.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to have a strong main narrative. If Edelgard had just at one point said, you know what, as a child, the church did some messed up things to me and my family. They suffered, I lost siblings, it hurt my friends, and as growing up, I've seen this happen more and more with different houses, with different nobles, with different families.
Yeah, that conversation was in a support, wasn't it?
Well, maybe, but even just go like in depth in the main narrative saying, just have a conversation of like, why do you feel so strong about this? Just simply say, it's because I've seen so much suffering that the church has either done or allowed. I just don't want anyone else to suffer like I have.
Mm.
A simple conversation like that. I've just made that up on the fly. You could put that in the narrative. At least then, it'd be something. It'd be something to grasp on. Ay. Rant over. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for watching. If you want to comment, do you like this route? Do you like Edelgard? Generally, this is one of the episodes which I am genuinely curious. I have not been this hot-headed ever since that bloody Monica side quest in Xenoblade 3. Jesus Christ. But yeah, if you do like all the things I just mentioned, tell me why. I ask in earnest because maybe there's a perspective or a point which I'm missing and I generally would want to understand. So please feel free. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Hopefully for a, well, it won't be a better outcome, but just hopefully it doesn't get worse.
We marry Marianne. That's all I can look forward to right now.
Yes. One of the extras, the main plot art, however, it filled us with dread. Good Lord, Claude, you can't come soon enough.
I know.
See you next time.